And taking some time to join us this morning, it is the owner of the one of the owners of the Boston Celtics, Wyc Grousbeck. Wyc is on the Harbor One hotline. By the way, Wyc, I believe, number 59 when it came to most influential people in Boston. Hello, Wyc.
59, huh?
Yeah, pretty good.
I'm not sure how to take that, really.
Well, it's here. It's playoff time.
I can't wait. It's so exciting. And Sunday at 1, we got to bring the energy a little earlier in the day. Sunday at 8 p.m. would be a little more raucous, but Sunday at 1, we'll make it work.
Well, Celtics will know after tonight whether it's the Heat or the Bulls, and Heat most likely without Jimmy Butler. Is there any part of you or Brad or the guys on this team that would like the opportunity to exorcise a demon in the form of the Heat, or does it not matter?
I'm pretty sure the guys are just saying, bring it on. Two good teams, et cetera, et cetera. I think Joe has the mindset of the team as nothing is assured, nothing is scripted, nothing's going to go according to plan. These are going to be dogfights all the way through. And so I'm sure he's preparing them for both teams, and we'll all be watching tonight and see who we get to play.
Wyc, speaking of mindset, Joe Mazzulla was on Part of My Take this morning, and he walked them through everything that he does throughout the regular season and the postseason to keep his mind sharp and to keep him in the same kind of wheelhouse as the players on the court and how they may be feeling mentally, physically. How important have you seen the relationship between the players and Joe Mazzulla grow this season from last season, and how much is that how much does that kind of go to speak to how good they've been playing this season?
Yeah, I mean, my window into it for the most part is at the games, sitting right there as they all interact right in front of me, sitting next to the bench, and seeing how during the game flow, he's got comments, he's calling plays, he's directing guys. It's a nonstop, really back and forth or communication, and how he's got everybody's attention, and he's got command of the whole situation as much as you can. The other team's trying to mess it up. But in other words, that's the connection I see the most. I also go over to practice from time to time, and I see it over there. It's a real bond between them. I mean, he's a real authentic leader. He's got a ton of energy and insight. He's got a great staff around him, and we've got a really good roster. I mean, it all kind of goes together. But I think it starts with the communication between the coach and the players that I see during the games, and I think it's very effective.
Blake Griffin this week, Wyc, said that he had been talking with Brad about coming back in December, and then essentially kind of woke up at some point and felt like he just didn't want to keep playing. Given the chance that this team has when it comes to winning it, and I don't want to jinx anything, you surprised that he didn't come back?
No, I know Blake. Gotten to know him well. Everybody just really thought he was fantastic when he was here this last stint. He really is a great guy on and off the court, and so would have been a nice glue guy for the roster. But we all knew probably pretty much throughout the year he wasn't. I mean, we were trying to get him back, but he said from the beginning, "I'm done." So I don't think this is a huge surprise. I remember back in the day we tried to get Reggie Miller to come and sort of come out of retirement and join the 2008 team. And he didn't do that, and we still joke about that every now and then. Maybe there's a parallel. I'd love there to be a parallel, but anyway, Blake is a great guy, and I'm sure he's got a future in basketball if he wants to come back in another role. But he's done playing apparently.
Yeah. Wyc, how important is it for Mazzulla, especially his coaching staff, to make sure that the players don't, I guess, buy into the hype? Because the expectations around here, I'm going to be honest with you, is we all expect you to get to the championship and win it. And so how important is it for Mazzulla to make sure that these guys understand that they know how good they are and maybe not read into the press clippings that a lot of people, basketball analysts, are saying that this is the Celtics year?
Yeah, well, I think you said it well, and you've been in those situations too. The other teams, every team in this city has been over the last decade, picked to win it, supposed to win it. You can go down every team on the list, and everybody has won it. But one team 6 times, one team 4 times. So there's a lot of expectations in Boston. That's what comes with being in Boston. And I think we've learned over the last 5 years that it doesn't get easier starting in mid-April. It gets harder. And I'm sure everybody's burning with the desire to, let's just start by winning on Sunday, game one, and see what happens. I think that's probably the mindset.
Wyc, the best offensive rating in the entire league this season belongs to my guy P. Pritch. He was somebody who may have wanted to, off season wise may have wanted to be elsewhere. What have you seen from him this season? And I guess the follow up would be the bench in general.
I love the way he's playing and igniting things, and he seemed like he got another gear. He got quicker and more confident over the last half of the season. But anyway, we signed him to a 4-year deal in the off season, and so put all that to rest. Made it clear to him and his agent that you stay here, you're going to get playing time. You got to earn it, but we want you here. Here's a 4-year deal, and so we locked him in over the summer, believing in him. And he's risen to the occasion, and it's one of the major factors with this team, playing well in the regular season.
I love the way he plays. I just absolutely love it. Curtis?
Hey, Wyc, just off of what Wiggy had asked prior about, the press clippings and everything else, you as the person in charge of the organization, if this team doesn't win it all, was this season a failure despite the regular season?
Well, I said before in an interview a couple of weeks ago, I'd be disappointed if we didn't, make a really good run at it. Obviously, I named the company Banner 17 way back in the day. That's when we had 16. I think my first quote was, "We're going to win Banner 17, or I'm going to die trying," because someone pushed me on it. Why'd you name it that? We're in this business to go all the way, or do the best job we can, getting there. So I'm disappointed any year we don't win it all. I'll speak for myself.
It would also, is Joe Mazzulla, phenomenal year. Obviously was the coach of the month several times, maybe coach of the year when that balloting comes out. Is there anything this postseason that would preclude him from being back next year because the team's so good?
Preclude him from being back next year,
right? Is there anything if the team doesn't win a championship, is there anything that would be where you'd have to make a change in that position going forward?
Okay, that's not a kind of question I answer, but nice try. Thanks.
Okay. Wyc, near the end of the season, there were a few games that were uncharacteristic for the team, and there were some people saying it looks like they're sleepwalking, just get them to the postseason. They just want to get there. There's been some players that have said, we like that we had to face some adversity going into the postseason. Do you feel that way? Are you happy that they had some ups and downs to end the season?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm happy we went. I guess I've kind of put the regular season in the rearview mirror. We won the East by 14 games.
Right.
We won the West, over the West by some number of games, 2 or 3 or something. And we were 37-4 at home. So in general, here we are. We're the top seed, and knock on wood, we're all healthy right at the moment. And that's kind of where I am about it. I mean, I didn't expect we were going to go undefeated during the regular season. We didn't, but we had a good record. But we all know on this call and listening to this call, we all know that Chicago can beat us. We all know that Miami can beat us. And I think I read that Joe showed them tapes of the 2008 postseason, and we went 7 games against Atlanta and then 7 games against Cleveland in the first 2 rounds. It was no joke. We almost got eliminated multiple times. So it's going to be a brawl, and we'll see who comes out on top.
Saw a really interesting piece yesterday on the Mercedes collection of Kristaps Porzingis. Have you promised him a new one should they win it all, Wyc?
Yeah, I'm going to go on record and say that I have not committed any salary cap violations along those lines. If I have a spare car lying around, which I don't, but if I did, I'll probably throw somebody the keys if we win the whole thing, and take the penalties. But luckily, I don't have a spare car hanging around, so that's not going to happen.
Well, and I mean, so many things. You can look back on this season and where you guys were in the off season, and I'm sure there are many things that you look at and say, what a key move that was. But in the case of that player, and Brad being able to go and get him, I feel like that just changed the dynamic of this basketball team.
It really did. I mean, he's brought this unbelievable energy. I'm like everybody's seen. He has not stopped smiling since he got here, and he's got a killer instinct. I mean, he's blocking shots, he's making threes, he's dunking the ball, he's doing everything he possibly can, and he's playing at a very high level. And we all remember, or most of us remember, he came in like 8 years ago into the league, and he was in his teens, late teens, I think, and I think he has said he has grown and matured and grown into being, the NBA player he wanted to be. And it's taken him a bit of time. I think these are quotes I remember from him. So the fact that we have him now in his late 20s and have him in a place where he wants to be and have him under contract, which we really appreciate him signing, he's a big piece of the team. I can't wait to see how it all works out.
Wick, one of the things you talked about is expectations, what yours are. But another thing that happens in the playoffs, it's about, pressure that athletes put on themselves. You got a guy like Jason Tatum, he's probably, his expectations for himself are probably through the roof. The pressure he puts on himself is probably, unbelievable. What's the difference that you notice between Tatum this year going into the playoffs versus Tatum last year?
Now, I don't know what to say, Wiggy, and I appreciate the question. I think I just want to let Jason be himself. He's gotten better every year. He is a leader of this team. He's a great teammate. He's a great player, and I'd like to leave it at that. I don't want to comment on any changes that may have. I just want to say he and others have led us. He and JB and Kristaps and the top six, and then the next six, everybody's contributed to having the best record in the league. So At this point, I'm enjoying where we are. I'm also enjoying the uncertainty of not knowing what's going to happen. Like if I did somehow have some envelope that said whether or not we're going to win it this year and how it's going to all play out, I wouldn't open the envelope. I wouldn't like look ahead. I wouldn't look ahead to the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Let's enjoy the movie and see what happens. It's going to be an unbelievable ride.
Speaking of movies, we know Missoula's obsession with The Town. We debate this all the time on the show. Are you a Town or The Departed? Where do you fall? Which one's better?
Departed.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd agree with him.
I am a Departed guy. I think The Departed's an unbelievable movie. I did watch The Town, but I never had I haven't multiply watched it. I've watched The Departed several times. I have only watched The Town once, so that's where I am, I guess.
Are you a cop?
It's great. Well, listen, I really appreciate you taking the time, as always, and we look forward to talking to you throughout this playoff run, and it all gets underway Sunday at 1, and I guess have those that are being asked to join you in your seats for either Game 1 or Game 2 been alerted yet, or is that coming?
Yeah, Game 1's long gone. We'll see what we can do about Game 2 or Game 5. Game 1 is there was family that swooped in. And,
I understand. I'm just asking for others. I'm not even asking.
I mean, you're extended family. You're extended family, but you're not family.
All right.
100
and part of that family.
Yeah. Greg's 145 on the list of influential people, so it is important to get him there.
Yeah.
If we were going by that list, I wouldn't even be invited this Sunday.
Well, listen, I say it all the time on this show. I firmly believe you are currently the best owner in our city, and
oh my gosh.
I really, really appreciate what you do for us on the show, and we can't wait. So thanks for talking to us.
There are owners in the city that should have statues, 6 championships, 4 championships, etc. Let's just enjoy the postseason, and we got the Bruins postseason, the Celtics postseason. I hope we both win it.
All right, Wick. Thanks, bud. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.